In the last class, we have studied about the LED concepts, and we have studied about the spontaneous, this one, edge emitting LED and the surface emitting LED. Okay, just a minute. Yeah. Now we'll move forward. The next concept is the quantum efficiency and power in LED. Okay, which is important concept. So the quantum efficiency, so in the last class we have seen that the recombination will happen in the active region. So the holes and the electrons will be pushed to the active regions, and then the recombination happens in the active region. Once there is a recombination, there is generation of light, and we are using direct band gap materials to generate the light. So that we have seen. One, if the light is taken at the surface, it is called as surface emitting LED. If the light is taken at the edges, it is called as edge emitting LED. Right? And also the band gap in the active layer will be less. Okay. Next is the quantum efficiency and power. The quantum efficiency is the ratio of the number of carriers collected in the active region to the recombination rate. So the number of carriers which are collected, either the holes or the electrons which are coming to the active layer. So with respect to the recombination rate. So how the carriers which are collected in the active region and the recombination rate. So some of them may not recombine. So we should consider only the cases where the recombination happens, and then that recombination generates the light. So that is the quantum efficiency, the efficiency of your LED to convert the incoming carriers into light is nothing but your quantum efficiency. So it is related to the fraction of injected electron hole pairs to combine radiatively. So we'll see what is recombination radiatively. Radiative recombination means the capture of free electron by an atom and the subsequent emission of a photon having the same energy. So so after recombination, if the light or if the photon is emitted from that, then that recombination is called as radiative recombination. The photon has to be generated from that recombination. Then it is called as radiative recombination. So non-radiative recombination is that during the non-radiative recombination, the electron energy is converted into vibrational energy or the phonons. That is, if the recombination leads to heat, it doesn't leads to photon, it leads to the vibration, and vibration leads to heat. Then it is called as non-radiative recombination. So there are chances of radiative recombination as well as non-radiative recombination when the carriers comes to the active layer. So if it generates the light, then it is called as radiative recombination. If it generates the heat, then it is called as non-radiative recombination. But our main focus is to generate the light, that is through radiative recombination. Okay, the internal quantum efficiency is defined as the ratio of radiative recombination rate to the total recombination rate in terms of mathematics. So it is nothing but efficiency is nothing but the recombination rate divided by the total recombination. So in that, non-radiative as well as radiative, in that how much radiative recombination has occurred and the light has been generated is called as RR, that is NNIT. Okay, RR is the radiative recombination rate. Okay, RNR is the non-radiative recombination rate. So this is the rate of recombination. Radiative lifetime. So the radiative lifetime is given by tau R is equal to N by RR. Okay, where it is the rate, but tau R is the radiative lifetime. So to what time that radiative recombination will be present is given by this. So it depends on the excess carriers which are present. Okay, so it depends on the carriers present in that. That is lifetime. This is rate. Okay, so we can write the quantum efficiency in terms of radiative and non-radiative recombination rate as well as radiative time and non-radiative time. So that is also there, that can both can be used. Okay, so okay, so similarly the non-radiative lifetime is given by N by RNR, same thing, both are same. Okay, the internal quantum efficiency is given. The recombination time of carriers in active region is at tau. Okay, so it is known as bulk recombination time. So tau is called as the bulk recombination time. So yeah, we'll go through it. So now you can replace this in terms of tau. So that is 1 n by tau r. So rr is given by n by tau r. So rr becomes n by tau r, n by tau r, n by tau nr. So that is being done here. So once you do, once it is considered, from this equation also you can calculate your quantum efficiency. So where internal quantum efficiency is the 50% for LED. So it has a 50% capability to generate the radiative recombination. So for a double heterojunction, it is 60 to 80%. Okay, so more light is generated. So here only off chance. So radiative and non-radiative recombination have equal chances. So this can be, so n is common here, you can take that out. So it becomes 1 by tau r divided by 1 by tau r into tau n plus r. So yeah, this from here, this also you can calculate. This 1 by tau r plus 1 by tau n r can also be represented. Same thing I've written. It also be written it as the total recombination lifetime. So this one, total recombination lifetime, which is represented by 1 by tau is equal to 1 by tau r plus tau nr, because tau is equal to n by rr. So it is 1 by tau. Okay, you can replace 1 by tau here. Okay, in that, then it becomes 1 by tau r into 1 by tau in terms of tau. So the internal quantum efficiency is given by tau divided by tau r. Okay, so therefore the internal quantum efficiency in terms of this is tau by tau r. So this, from this also you can use, yeah, this also you can use. Okay, anything can be used. So this is one way of finding your internal quantum efficiency of your LED. So if you know the current and the electron charge for that particular LED, then also it can be calculated in other ways. Now we'll go for studying the power present in it. So from this internal quantum efficiency, there is some power which is generated. So what is that power of that light which are generated from internal quantum efficiency is seen next. Okay, so if the current injected into LED is high, so assume that after this internal quantum efficiency, some current is generated that is high with the electron charge of this. Then the total number of recombination per second is given by RR plus RNR total is equal to I by Q. So current generated with the electron charge. So that gives you the recombination. So either it may, this may leads to radiative recombination as well as this may lead to non-radiative. So heat may be generated, light may be generated. So anything can happen. So it is the combination of the both I by Q, current generated by your electron charge. So now R plus RNR is there here in the first equation. So we know that R plus RNR, this can be replaced by I by Q. So we know that R plus RNR is equal to I by Q, current divided by the time. Okay, so this is the one. So next, RR is equal to internal quantum efficiency multiplied by I by Q. Okay, so the output power generated internally in LED is given as, so now we'll go for power, internal power. So quantum efficiency is over. So in order to know the output, the optical power generated, so we have converted RR into this equation. So output power is nothing but the RR, radiative recombination rate, into energy. We know that energy into the rate also gives you the power. So it is internal power. So we know that H is equal to, V is equal to, energy is equal to H nu to generate the light. So that is I have represented in terms of here. Now we can replace this. Okay, in the here. Okay, so once if you did that, power is equal to this. Okay, this is substituted with the internal quantum efficiency I by Q. This is H nu. I kept it like this, and yeah, I've reordered I by Q. H nu is equal to, H nu is a frequency. So frequency is nothing but C by lambda. So this can be written as C by lambda. So now if you combine all these things, you, and it is equal to H, which is a Planck's constant. C is the speed of the light in the vacuum, the current which is generated from the LED, the electron, free electron charge, the wavelength of the light generated. These are the things which are related to your internal power. So important with respect to your exam. So normally they will ask, if they don't ask, they ask a problem related to internal quantum efficiency and your power, if they don't ask the derivation. Okay, not all the, so this is the power generated, not all the internally photons. This is the internally photon generated within the LED. So it has to come out now. It's come out and it has to be seen by the receiver. Okay, so how much of this comes out and is visualized? Okay, not all the internally generated photons will be available from the output device. Then the external quantum efficiency is used to calculate the emitted power. So then external quantum efficiency is used. This is internal quantum. So within the LED, this much is the internally generated efficiency, and this is the power. So when it is coming out, there will be some there may be some extra things will be had, noise may be added with, or the internally generated distortion may be there, so that may also affect. So considering the those things, we should come out with the p out, we come out with the external efficiency. Not all the internally generated photons will be available from the output of the device. The external quantum efficiency is used to calculate the emitted power. Okay, the external quantum efficiency in LED is the ratio of the photons emitted from the LED to the number of photons generated internally. So that is very simple definition. External quantum efficiency means the number of photons which are generated out of the LED to the number of photons which are generated internally. So internally generated becomes internal quantum efficiency. So when it is coming out, there may be some distortions which may lead to the lesser photons to come out. So that is your external quantum efficiency. That is dependent on the refractive index of that LED. So we have seen in the last class, whenever there is a band gap which is small, then refractive index will be more. So there is a linkage between the band gap and the refractive index. So external quantum efficiency is approximate, or it is equal to 1 by n divided by n plus n1 square. If you know the refractive index, you can easily calculate the external quantum efficiency of the LED. So this n again depends on the band gap energy, again depends on the material you have used. Okay. Okay, so the total power emitted from the LED. So here the total power here we have taken it as RR into E. So internally generated power multiplied by the external quantum efficiency. What is external quantum efficiency? This is the one. Okay, to calculate P internally efficiency, we went for RR into your H nu, RR into H nu, that is your E. So okay, so this is your external, this is the output power which is coming out. Always the output power which is emitted from the LED is less than the internally generated power. Okay, so this is your derivation. Normally they'll ask for 6 to 8 marks. So you can explain step by step what is radiative, non-radiative, then use all the expressions, and then you derive, you generate internal quantum efficiency, internal power, external quantum efficiency, and external power of that. So if they don't ask the derivation, they ask the problem related to that. We'll go through. Simple, just the substitution. The radiative and non-radiative recombination lifetimes of the minority carriers RR and RNR lifetime, sorry, tau. It is not the rate, it is the lifetime. So it is tau R and tau NR is given. Lifetimes of the minority carriers in the active region of a double heterogeneous LED is 60 nanoseconds. Tau R is the 16 nanoseconds, tau NR is 90 nanoseconds respectively. Determine the total carrier recombination lifetime. Determine the total recombination lifetime and the output power generated internally in the peak emission wavelength. Wavelength is given for your SI, and the drive current is also given. So you note down what are the things which is given. Lambda is given, tau R is given, tau NR is given, then I is given, I 50 milliamp. These are the things which are given. Okay, now you have to calculate internal optical power generated internally, and also total recombination lifetime, tau R, you have to calculate. So we know that 1 by tau is equal to tau R and tau NR. So I have given this equation earlier. So just substitute and find your tau. So this is the total recombination, the lifetime of recombination in the active region, considering both radiatively, which generates the light, as well as the which generates the heat. So that is your tau. Okay, so this is tau. 1 is over. We have to calculate now the to internal optical power. So this is what we have derived. And H is known, that is the Planck's constant, which is 6.625 into 10 raised to minus 34. C is 3 into 10 raised to 8 meters per second. I is given 40 milliamperes, which I have written here. Q is the electron charge, 1.6 into 10 raised to minus 17. Lambda is given 850, 870, I think. Yeah, 870 nanometer is given. So you replace that. Then, so n init here, in case of internal efficiency, n init is also given by tau by tau r, because yeah, we don't know rr and rnr in this case. So this is written in terms of tau by tau r. This is our derivation, what we have derived earlier. So we have derived here somewhere. Yeah, we have derived this one. So yeah, I'm replacing tau. Now I have replaced that. We know this is what given, 36 and 60, what is been given. So they have given it, and replace that and substitute it. So we end up with this particular milliwatts is the internally generated power. So simple substitution. So similarly, second problem, a double heterojunction in the gallium arsenide phosphorus LED operating at the 1310 nanometer as a radiative and non-radiative times. So tau r and tau nr is given. Current injected is 40. So if it is not the lifetime, you should be very careful here. Lifetimes, lifetimes. If it is rate is given, it is rr and rnr. Okay, if it is lifetime is given, it is tau r and tau nr. So be careful. Current injected is 40 milliamperes, same. So lambda is given. So calculate the bulk recombination lifetime, internal quantum efficiency, internal power you have to calculate, external quantum efficiency with n is equal to 3.5. Similarly, same case. So tau you can calculate. Okay. So internally quantum efficiency is tau by tau r. Just substitute that. Tau is known, tau r is given. So you can substitute that and given. So then yeah, internal power, you know. So it is 76.9. So 0.769, same substitution you can find. And external efficiency, external quantum efficiency, we know that nxt is equal to 1 by n. So where n is the refractive index given is 3.5. So they have given the refractive index 3.5. So you can just substitute there and find the external quantum efficiency. So internal quantum efficiency is 76%. So 76% of the electrons and holes which are injected into active layer are converted to light. So that is the meaning. So out of the 100 electrons and hole pairs, 76 generates the light. Okay, that is the meaning. So when you come to the external efficiency, it is only 14% efficiency. Okay, that is this next. Yeah. Uh, yeah, so this is similarly they will ask, but yeah, I've done the similar kind of problems. You just be careful with the radiative and non-radiative recombination time, and radiative and non-radiative recombination rates. If it is rates, it is RR and RNR. If it is times, it is tau R and tau NR, because for RR and RNR the problems are different. For your tau and tau NR problems are different. For RR and RNR, you have to calculate internal efficiency using this. Okay, yeah, so that you should be careful. Yeah, now we are coming end of this LED. So advantages of LED: simple design, easy to manufacture, simple system integration, low cost, high reliability. Yeah, but it cannot transmit for a longer distance. The band which is the light band which is generated is narrow. Okay, that you should remember. Disadvantage is wide. It is a wide spectrum, so it will spread. The light will spread, which is generated. Once the light will spread, it cannot go for a longer distance. So it is for a shorter distance application compared to that of your laser. Okay, low intensity, directions are poor. It is not direct. Okay, it is incoherent. We have seen that. So to overcome such of these problems, laser diodes are used. Okay, so I will conclude this class now. So if our laser diodes will go through in the next class. Okay, so I've done half of this particular module. So half is with respect to the laser diodes. We'll see the laser diodes in the next class, 1 or 2. So I have studied about already about Fabry-Perot resonator. So we'll just brief out that, and then we'll study the injection laser diodes and the DFB laser diodes. Okay. So with respect to LED, in exam, there are chances that they may ask the characteristics of the normal emitter, both LED or a laser, or the requirements for LED and the laser. That is one case. Second thing is they may ask about the double heterogeneous LED, one thing, or the surface emitting LED or the edge emitting LED. These are things. Apart from that, the other thing important is quantum efficiency and LED power derivation. If the derivation is not asked, they will ask the problems which are solved. So this is important with respect on the normally. So in the last previous question paper, they asked almost about 1.5 questions within this. Okay, so very important. Okay, so I'll stop my class here. If you have any questions, you can ask, or else just be there. I will take the attendance. Okay, I'll stop my share as of now. Okay, thank you. I have recorded your attendance. I will end my session. Okay. So notes, yeah, someone has sent notes. I will send. I will send all the notes. I think I have completed sending the notes up to the second unit. So whatever the notes I have written for third module, I will send it today. Okay. Okay. Thanks for attending the class. I'll end my session.